What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA and college basketball action here on Friday, February 27th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a big thank you to me, take that 10th of a second and hit that like button. It really helps me out. It doesn't take hardly any time, hardly any effort. It's absolutely free. Gets these videos promoted out there on YouTube for me, and just seeing those likes build up really helps keep me motivated to grind out one of these videos every single day. Also, take a second and check below and see if you are subscribed to the channel. Being subscribed, which is also free, will keep you from missing out on these videos that I'm posting here every single solitary day. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers this year. We're well on our way. We're almost to 70,000 subscribers, so help me make that dream a reality. Share these videos with a friend. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. I really appreciate all the new subscribers we've been getting. Also, get down there in the comments. Let me know any questions you have about today's slate, about things coming up this weekend. Any questions you have across the sporting world, I'm more than happy to answer. And if I can't answer them, I can reach out to the premium handicappers over there at stumpthespread.com and see what they have to say. They're a pretty opinionated group, so I can pretty much guarantee they've got to take one way or the other. Also, check that pinned comment while you're down there, guys, and see what we're looking at today. In the pinned comment, you'll not only find our massive lock of the day and our dog of the day, as well as our other favorite picks from this video, you will also find a link over to stumpthespread.com that'll get you right there to where you can find their premium picks, obviously, but also all the great free resources over there, like free picks under the free picks tab and that free email newsletter. You definitely don't want to miss out on those. In terms of a recap, we're actually recording very early tonight. I've got a late men's league basketball game, so got to get to that, and it will be back very late, so you would actually see an insanely late video, or we'd have a very late night for the boys. So yeah, we're getting after this one pretty freaking early. So no major recap here. We're on Florida Atlantic, Liberty, the Atlanta Hawks, the Trailblazers, the Heat, and the Lakers are a massive lock of the day. The Heat are our dog of the day, so let's hope all of those plays can come through, and hopefully it's a big night over there for the premium members as well. Let's go ahead and get after it. Let's dive in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you're getting over there to stumpthespread.com, checking out all the free stuff, checking out that free email newsletter, and definitely checking out the premium picks, guys. Lots and lots of great information over there. So let's go ahead and dive in. A pretty interesting college basketball slate here on Friday. First up, we're looking at the number 21 Miami of Ohio Redhawks as they go on the road to taking the Western Michigan Broncos. Miami of Ohio comes into this game still undefeated on the season. Now, I'm not going to act like they've had an insanely tough schedule, because they have not. Didn't play the craziest non-conference schedule at all. It was actually very weak. All that being said, though, when you win every single game, you're doing something right. We'll see what they can do here on the road against Western Michigan. Shouldn't necessarily be a team they're too scared of, but Miami of Ohio does have to stay locked in. They're only a single game up on the Akron Zips for the top spot there in the MAC. So we'll see if they can make it happen. They did beat Akron earlier this season, but only by 3, so a very close game. The Redhawks have this game against Western Michigan, then a game against Toledo, and a trip to Ohio, all here to finish out their regular season. So we'll see what they can do. This has been a dynamic offensive team. They're 4th in the nation in raw scoring numbers. Their defense is pretty good, not too shabby. The big concern for this team, and for me about this team, is their lack of rebound. They haven't been a great rebounding team, somewhere around 200th in the nation in total rebounding. So we'll see what they can do on the glass. They're not really a squad that relies too much on any one monster leading scorer. They have plenty of different guys that can really kind of take over and lead the way on a night-to-night basis, which is really a more reliable way to do it. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against a conference opponent. Not like Western Michigan's been amazing this season, though. The Broncos are 10-18 on the season, 4-11 in conference play. They're coming off a win. They went into Bowling Green and got the 88-79 win, so I'm sure they're very happy about that. It was a revenge spot after getting kind of blown out by Bowling Green earlier this season. Well, they've got another potential revenge spot here. They did play a relatively close game at Miami of Ohio, eventually losing that one 87-76. So it was fairly competitive. Now, I do have some concerns, obviously, about this Western Michigan team. They're a terrible squad defensively. They are not very good on defense. They don't have a solid leading scorer. The rebounding numbers are not very good either. When they played Miami of Ohio earlier this year, it didn't exactly go great. Although the Broncos did keep it relatively competitive, neither team could throw it in the ocean. Each squad shot 25% or less from 3. We did see the Redhawks have a nice little advantage there on the boards. I think that's something you can definitely bank on having in this one, and I do expect them to shoot the ball considerably better. Could Western Michigan do that too? Sure, but it seems a little bit less likely. The Broncos are getting 11.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 161.5. Miami of Ohio is 10-2 against the spread on the road this year. They're 17-8 to the over. Western Michigan is 7-4 against the spread at home, 16-10 to the over themselves. So you could actually talk me into over 161.5. The over hit in their earlier matchup this season, they got over this number earlier this season, despite both teams really struggling to shoot the ball from 3. So I think over is reasonable, but I'll also take Miami of Ohio here. I think they get the blowout win and cover. They're not taking their foot off the gas here anytime soon. They're so good against the spread on the road. I think this is a good spot to back them. Next on the docket, guys, we're headed out to the Ivy League. We get the Yale Bulldogs going on the road here to take in the Cornell Big Red. Now, Yale, right now they're looking like the best team in the Ivy League. They've got a 9-2 conference record, so things are definitely heading in the right direction. Cornell, only 5-6 in conference play. The Bulldogs are 21-4 overall. They're coming off a 4-point win there over Penn, a 1-point win over Harvard, and a 13-point win there over Dartmouth. So they've played some very close games. The last time they faced Cornell was pretty much the opposite of a close game. Yale got the 102-68 obliteration style win. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Nick Townsend has been a monster this season, 16.5 points per game, 4.5 assists, shooting 52% from the field, all very respectable numbers. Yale is 53rd in the nation total offense. Not necessarily a great rebounding team, but the defense is plenty good enough, and we've liked a lot of what we've seen from this team. Now, they are going on the road to take on Cornell. The Big Red are 5-6 in Ivy League play, 12-12 on the season. They've lost back-to-back games, losing 82-76 at Penn, and then playing at home, losing 73-54 against Harvard. So not a great showing. The Big Red do get up and down. They put up some points, but not the last time they faced Yale, I'll say that. They're 11th in the nation total offense, but they play 0 defense. The rebounding numbers are not great. Cooper Nord is a very solid leading scorer, 18.5 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field is awesome. But you can't forget how bad they got destroyed by Yale earlier this season. It would be a massive, massive turnaround. Yale shot 48% from 3 and dominated the boards. The free throw numbers were pretty even. Cornell did not have a very good shooting night, shooting 34% from the field and 26% from 3. How much do we expect them to improve that number? I would say somewhat, but enough to keep this to a one-possession game. That feels a little bit nuts. Cornell's getting 3 points at home. We've got a total of 165.5. Yale's 5-4-1 against the spread on the road, 13-10 to the over. Cornell is 1-6 against the spread at home this season, and they're a 500 over-under team. This feels like the trappiest of trappy spots, but I will definitely be taking Yale here at -3. I don't think they're going to have a hiccup here against a team like Cornell that is just not anywhere near the same level, and they do have Harvard hot on their heels for the top spot in the Ivy, so definitely like Yale to, take advantage and get a comfortable win in this one. Next up, guys, we're headed out to the A10. We got the Dayton Flyers going on the road to take the George Washington Revolutionaries. Now, Dayton, they're 19-9 on the season, 10-5 in conference play. I'm not going to lie and say they haven't been a disappointing team in general this season, because they definitely have, but they have also won 4 in a row, taking on Davidson, George Mason, Duquesne, and then a crazy 77-62 upset win over St. Louis. They got to be very, very pumped about that one. Obviously, Dayton's going to have to make some crazy, crazy noise there in the conference tournament if they want a tournament bid, but they really, really took it to St. Louis, jumping out to a 44-28 lead there at halftime. The Flyers shot 40% from 3. They did a good job getting to the free throw line. They did have a deficit there on the boards for sure, but a very nice night for the Dayton Flyers. Now, that does leave them in a big letdown spot. We'll see if Javon Bennett and company can avoid that, but they are still around 400th in the nation total rebounding. They're not a terrible defensive team, but they're around 200th in the nation in total offense. So we'll see what they can do here on the road at George Washington, a team that they played earlier this season and did win 79-72. So we'll see what the Revolutionaries can do here in a revenge spot. They're only 7-8 in conference play. Haven't been having a great time. They have won 3 out of their last 4, beating Rhode Island, beating George Mason, losing at VCU, not that competitive a game, and then blowing out LaSalle. So we'll see what they can do here down the stretch. Rafael Castro is a solid leading scorer, 16 points per game, shooting 65% from the field is nuts. They're 38th in the nation in total offense, which has to feel amazing. The defensive numbers aren't phenomenal, but their rebounding numbers are much, much better than what we've seen from Dayton. Now, in the loss that the Revolutionaries took in this matchup earlier this season, they did have a big advantage there on the boards. We saw Dayton shoot 10 more free throws in that game, and George Washington turned the ball over 22 times. Definitely a number they can improve on. In this game, the Revolutionaries are 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 153.5. Dayton only 3-6 against the spread on the road, 17-11 to the under. George Washington 7-6 against the spread at home, 14-12 to the under. These two teams went under this number earlier this season, despite both shooting the ball pretty well. So I do think we have to strongly consider under 153.5 in this spot. In terms of a side, I will definitely be taking the George Washington Revolutionaries here in a bounce back situation. Will this make the pinned comment? It is a short slate, so I'd say it's got a chance, but I also do really like that under. Hey guys, before we break down the biggest game of the night here on the college basketball slate, the number 3 Michigan Wolverines heading to number 10 Illinois, we got to shout out the sponsor today in every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Guys, click the link in the description or the link in the pinned comment to get over there to Stump the Spread and check out the premium picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Keep in mind, the picks you see from me here in the videos are usually not going to match what you see there in the premium section from Stump the Spread, because we have a team of experienced cappers over there covering all the major sports. We've got premium NHL, NBA, and college basketball going on right now, with UFC mixed in whenever there's a UFC event going on. Things have been headed very, very much in the right direction. A very nice winning day over there on February 25th, cashing a nice 3-unit play there on the Pistons at -6. That was a nice win for them over the Thunder. It did get a little bit sketchy late, but it ended up going the right direction in the end. A 3-2 day there on the college basketball side, a 2-1 day on the NHL side, the first day back from NHL. So things are really, really rolling right along over there at Stump the Spread. Definitely consider signing up for a premium package over there. It's some of the best information on the web in terms of sports betting, and you definitely want to get in there. A ton of work goes into those premium picks every single solitary day. If you're not looking to sign up for the premium picks, though, definitely still get over there and take advantage of all the free stuff we offer. There are free picks posted every single solitary day under the free picks tab. You definitely want to check out those. They're a great way to sample what it would be like to be a premium member. You also got to get over there and get on that free email list. It's a phenomenal resource. Every single solitary day, you'll be getting one email. It's going to have regular free picks in it, like a free pick on college basketball, NBA, NHL, something like that, against the spread or on the money line or on the total, but also tons of huge write-ups on all the niche sports like golf. Golf has been a massive one for us here in the early portion of the PGA season, cashing some big, huge plus money winners. A 33-1 winner was cashed there a couple weeks ago. So very, very good information there on the golf, but also NASCAR, a sport you would have never thought to bet on, but NASCAR is covered as well, and there's some value in those NASCAR streets, let me tell you what. Also, all the niche sports are covered, like preseason MLB, WNBA, unless WNBA ends up being a premium sport, which actually is a possibility this season. We'll see how that whole strike situation goes. But tons and tons of information on tennis, all the niche sports, like you name it, it could be in there. So definitely get on that email newsletter. It's really easy to sign up. You just go to StumpTheSpread.com. You sign up for a free account there. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That's it to sign up for a free account. And you get one email straight to your inbox every single day, jam-packed with all that great sports betting information. Also, at StumpTheSpread.com, that's where you can pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie. We're selling those right now for $39.99. That is at cost. So every single one of those hoodies, we basically make $0 on. We also offer free shipping on those hoodies, and they can get to you in as little as 7 days. Really just want to make sure that people, have access to those if they are, interested. And we're not looking to make money on those hoodies. We just want them to be available to you guys if you want one. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here, not just every Monday anymore, but it's every Monday and every Thursday. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of that. Huge shout out to all of the YouTube channel members. Really appreciate all of you guys. Now let's go ahead and dive back in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're getting over to StumpTheSpread.com and taking advantage of all that great stuff we offer there, the free stuff, the premium stuff. It is all very much worth your time. And now let's get back after it. Next up, we're looking at the number 3 Michigan Wolverines going on the road, taking the number 10 Illinois Fighting Illini. Michigan comes into this game not really in a bounce back spot anymore. They had their bounce back after that tough loss against Duke by getting that 77-67 win over Minnesota. Well, now they've got another very tough test. They play Illinois, and then they play Iowa, and then they play Michigan State to end their regular season. So not exactly an easy slate of games here for the Wolverines. Obviously, this has been one of the best teams in the nation this season. They're top 10 in total offense. They're top 25 in total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are off the charts good. This is just a very, very deep, very talented team. Lindenborg is a monster. Honestly, just we can't even list all the guys that are playing great for this team. Like, this is a deep squad. They've got plenty of talent. They came up a little bit short there against Duke. We'll see if they can, get it done here going on the road against a very, very tough Illinois team. Now, the number 10 Fighting Illini, they are 22-6 on the season, 13-4 in conference play out there in the Big Ten. They are actually in a bounce back spot. They're fresh off a crazy 1-point loss there at UCLA. Got off to a great start there. Their little trip out to California, they demolished USC. Well, going to UCLA didn't go quite as well. They didn't shoot the ball great, 31% from 3, only 41% from the field in general. They crushed UCLA on the boards there, but the Bruins shot the lights out against them. Sometimes you're going to have that. Illinois putting up 94 points in an overtime game and losing by 1 despite only turning the ball over 9 times and having a rebounding advantage is pretty sick stuff. So we'll see what the Fighting Illini can do here in a bounce back spot. They're one of the best teams in the nation as well, in the top 20 in rebounding, in the top 25 in total offense. Very, very good defensive numbers for them as well. They have struggled a little bit against elite competition. They lost at Michigan State the last time they faced a big name team. So we'll see what they can get done in this one. Looking at their season long numbers and everything, it looks great. This team is also just loaded with talent. So I'm not surprised to see this being a bit of a coin flip. Illinois is getting a 1.5 here at home. We've got a total of 156.5. Michigan is only 3-6 against the spread on the road, 17-11 to the under. Illinois is 9-6 against the spread at home, 16-12 to the under. We've got a total here of 156.5, so not a crazy huge number, but I still think under is actually pretty reasonable in this game. I think we're going to see a lot of solid defense. In terms of a side, I will be siding with the Michigan Wolverines. I just think they're a little bit, just a cut above teams like Illinois. I think they find a way to get the job done here, despite the fact that Fighting Illini are in a bounce back spot. Michigan, I feel like they are maybe the hungrier team, although we do have to take into consideration they basically already have the top spot there in the Big Ten sewn up. So we'll see. I do expect a very, very good game in this one. I'll lean towards Michigan, and I'll lean towards that under. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Akron Zips going on the road to taking the Kent State Golden Flashes. Now, Akron, the Zips, they're 1 game back of Miami of Ohio there for the top spot in the MAC. They come into this game on a 4-game winning streak. They just took down Buffalo 99-85, so an easy, very comfortable win there. They've already, done some good things this season. Obviously, wish they could have that game against Miami of Ohio back. We'll see what they can do here against Kent State. They beat the Golden Flashes 69-52. Obviously, a lower scoring game than Akron normally wants to play. They really want to get up and down and get after it, but in that game, we saw the Golden Flashes shoot only 4% from 3 and kind of crush Akron on the board. So definitely could be in a little bit of a test spot here for the Zips. The Golden Flashes have been a good team. They're 12-3 in MAC play themselves, 21-7 overall. They're winners of 4 in a row, beating Eastern Michigan, winning at Ball State, winning at Bowling Green, and then beating Central Michigan in a nail-biter 83-81. Del Recco Gillespie is a monster, 18 points per game, 19 points per game, 55% from the field. We've liked what we've seen from this team offensively for sure, 23rd in the nation in total scoring. They're a good rebounding team. The defensive numbers are a bit suspect, so we have to keep a very close eye on that, but there's a lot to like here about the Golden Flashes. They are getting 4.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 165.5. Akron is 6-4 against the spread on the road, 14-11-1 to the over. Kent State is 6-7 against the spread at home, 15-10-1 to the over themselves. Even in a massive bounce back, obviously we expect Kent State to shoot the ball better in this game than they shot it the last time they faced Akron. It still feels like kind of a lot of points, so I will lean just slightly towards the under. In terms of a side, like I said, in a big revenge spot, I'm going to lean a bit towards Kent State getting the points in this one. I don't think this game is going to make the pinned comment. You'll have to check back and see because it is a short slate, but my lean on this one is going to be Kent State here playing at home. In our last college basketball game, before we hop over and cover the NBA slate, we get the Georgia Southern Eagles going on the road, taking the Marshall Thundering Herd. Now, Georgia Southern 15-15 on the season, 7-10 in conference play out there in the Sun Belt. Haven't exactly been having a great time. They've actually lost 6 of their last 7 games. They just got blown out 82-76 at James Madison. They did beat Marshall, though. That's the one win out of those 7 games, a 101-87 win over the Thundering Herd. We'll see if they can replicate any of that. Spud Webb putting up 15.5 points per game, shooting over 50% from the field. Be a little bit surprised if we don't see him transfer to a bigger program in the offseason, but we'll see what happens. The Eagles are not a very good rebounding team. The defensive numbers are pretty mediocre. They are around the top 100 in the nation total offense, and they did put up 101 against Marshall the last time these two teams faced each other, so we'll see what they can put up in this one. The Thundering Herd, 19-11 on the season. They are in a 4-way tie with South Alabama, Appalachian State, and Troy for the top spot in the Sun Belt. So very exciting stuff down the stretch. They're coming off a 97-88 win over Old Dominion, and now they've got to figure out a way to get the job done here against Georgia Southern. This squad in the top 80 in the nation, total scoring, a reasonable rebounding team, decent on defense. Jalen Spear is a very solid leading point guard, 16 points, 5.5 assists per game, and Watt Fricks, 55% from the field and putting up 15.5 points per game. The last time that Marshall faced Georgia Southern, it was a crazy, crazy game. Georgia Southern got off to an insane start, ended up shooting 47% from 3 in the game, had an edge on the boards, the out-rebounding Marshall is kind of crazy. They also shot 7 more free throws, but nothing too insane there. In this game, Marshall are 6.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 168.5. Georgia Southern, 6-7 against the spread on the road, a 500 over-under team. Marshall, 4-10-1 against the spread at home, 18-10-1 to the over. This is not an easy spot, guys. I am going to lean just slightly towards Marshall here to get the big revenge win and cover. They got to win by at least 7, which feels a little bit heavy to me. Might keep this one out of the pinned comment, but I do think Marshall, despite their bad against the spread record playing at home, is the team you want in this one. Now, guys, hopping over to the NBA side, we've got a very short 5-game slate here on Friday, but there's some good games in there, and we're started off by a very good one. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons. Now, Cleveland, they're fresh off a 118-116 loss there at the Bucks. They tried to make it happen down the stretch, and it just wasn't really going to be a thing. They were very banged up for that game. Obviously, no Donovan Mitchell, no Harden either, so we'll see what they're able to put together this time out. Definitely a bit of a bounce back spot. Although Jared Allen, Dennis Schroeder, Sam Merrill, the guys really gave it a run. It just wasn't quite enough there in the end. Now, obviously, the injury report's a huge deal for the Cavs in this game, and it looks like they might still be a little bit banged up. Harden is questionable with that thumb issue. Reportedly, he's going to play through it, so some toughness there dealing with a fractured right thumb. Kind of nuts that he's going to be able to play through that, but we'll see how it goes. Donovan Mitchell, dealing with a groin issue, will not be playing in this game. Dean Wade is questionable with a right ankle sprain, so I guess there's a chance he plays. And Schroeder is questionable with a sprained right ankle as well. So it's not going to be the full-strength Cavaliers as they head to Detroit to take on the Pistons, who are fresh off a 124-116 win there over the Thunder. Now, that game was actually much more competitive than I thought it would be. I thought Detroit would run away with it, but they dug themselves a big hole there in the first quarter, being down 34-22. The Thunder continue to shoot the ball extremely well despite missing their best three-point shooters, but Detroit did enough in the end. They crushed the Thunder, the shorthanded Thunder, obviously, on the boards. Dern and Cade both had massive nights out there. The bench was productive. Duncan Robinson knocked in some shots. Overall, a very good night from everyone who wasn't Tobias Harris. So good stuff there from the Pistons. They do come into this game looking very healthy. Isaiah Stewart's still suspended. I believe this is maybe his last game suspended. I'm not 100% sure, but he will not be available for this game. Everybody else will be ready to go there for the Pistons, who are 7.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 225.5. Cleveland, 13-16 against spread on the road, 10-12 against spread after a loss, 17-12 to the over on the road. Detroit is 14-15 against spread at home. They're a 500 against spread team after a win. They are a kind of significant under team when playing at home. Neither one of these teams is playing on the front half or back half of a back-to-back or anything like that, but with the Cavaliers looking so shorthanded and Detroit being such a good team, I am going to lean towards the Pistons here at -7.5. They've got the size to deal with the size that Cleveland can throw at them. They can defend on the perimeter. Cleveland Cleveland can't really do that, and that opens up a lot of opportunities for guys like Cade to have massive, massive nights. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Brooklyn Nets going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. The Nets are 15-42 on the season. They're going to be fresh off a game against the Spurs. Now, they will have to travel here as well, but only from Brooklyn to Boston. So not necessarily a terrible travel spot. The Nets are clearly tanking things out. We are seeing Michael Porter Jr. usually play on a night-to-night basis, and they are putting most of their guys out there, but here on the second half of a back-to-back, I would not be surprised to see them rest some guys or just, very, very strict or very, very short minutes limits. So we'll see who the Nets actually trot out there, but I'm not expecting a massive, massive night from them in terms of effort or anything like that. Now, the Celtics, they come into this game 38-20 on the season. All the news is about when is Tatum and / if Tatum is going to come back. I do think he's going to come back, and they could definitely use him. They did just get destroyed there by the Nuggets, losing that one 103-84. They didn't really have any good answers for Jokic, who put up another incredible monster night. Only 6 assists in the game, I guess, but he did have 30 points, and yeah, they just did not have any good answers there. Jaylen Brown played okay, seemed maybe slightly slowed down by that knee thing. Derek White had a good shooting night, but nobody played well off the bench, so a bit of a rough one out there for the Celtics. This is definitely a bounce back spot for them, and they are fully healthy. Nobody on the injury report at all for this game. Now, they are 17.5-point favorites here at home. That's a big number. We've got a total of 208.5. Brooklyn, 12-16-1 against the spread on the road, 2-8 against the spread on no rest, 18-11 to the under on the road. Boston, 13-14 against spread at home, 21-17 against spread after a loss, 17-10 to the under at home. I don't know if I can do it, but I do think under 208.5 is reasonable because I think the Celtics might hold the Nets to like 65 points in this game. So I do think under is potentially a decent play in this one. I also, as disgusting as this feels, kind of think you might want to take the Celtics at minus 17.5 because I don't see any way playing on back-to-back nights that we see any sort of high-effort performance from this Brooklyn Nets team. And the Celtics have a deep, deep squad. I mean, you think Luka Garza or guys like Hugo Gonzalez or Max Shugla even aren't going to be stoked to get out there and get some minutes and run up the score. I think they definitely will. Give me the Celtics and the under in this one. Rolling right along here, guys, we got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Knicks at 37-22 on the season have to be kind of disappointed. They're coming off that 109-94 loss at the Cavaliers. Their road trip continues here, though, so we'll see if they can bounce back. In that loss, Brunson led the team with 20 points. Cat only had 14 points, didn't miss a shot, though, and just didn't necessarily have an amazing game. Jalen Brunson, 20, Mikal Bridges with 18, 11 off the bench from Mitchell Robinson, but none of this was enough. They only shoot 27% from 3. They keep things even on the boards against Cleveland, and yeah, not exactly a top-tier performance there from the Knicks, who are starting to not look nearly as scary of a playoff team as a lot of people expected them to be. They are fully healthy coming into this game. Obviously, they won't have Miles McBride back for some time, but we'll see what they can do. The bench does concern me, but Brunson and Cat being in bounce-back situations here should concern the Bucks a little bit. Milwaukee, they've won 5 out of their last 6. This team's making it happen and seems like they could be a pretty scary squad if Giannis comes back and is anywhere close to 100%. They got the 118-116 win there over the very shorthanded version of the Cavaliers there, but a win is still a win. Loved what we saw from Kevin Porter Jr., liked what we saw from Ryan Rollins. Cam Thomas actually had a bit of a rough game there off the bench and was a minus 13, but the starters played so well they come away with the win in this game. So the real question for this Bucks team is, when is Giannis going to come back? Other than him, they are fully healthy and ready to go. He is officially out for this game, but it sounds like he's not all that far off from potentially making a comeback. So we'll see what the Bucks look like at that point. They're getting 5.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 222.5. The Knicks are 10-18 against the spread on the road, 9-12 against the spread after a loss, 16-12 to the under at home. The Bucks are 13-14 against the spread at home, 10-15 against the spread after a win, 14-13 to the over at home. I actually think over 222.5 might be a reasonable lean in this game. I definitely don't hate it. I think it's something to take into consideration. In terms of a side, it's a bounce back spot for the Knicks, and the Bucks don't have Giannis. Give me the Knicks here to win this game by at least 6. I don't think they have any good answers for Cat. I don't really think they have any great defensive options for trying to slow down Jalen Brunson either, and if the refs are giving him the calls, this one could get a little ugly. Rounding to the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Now, Memphis is 21-36 on the season. They're tanking things out here at the end. We'll see what happens down the stretch, but Yeah, not a lot of amazing things happening for Memphis right now. They're coming off a 133 to 112 loss there to the Warriors, where I mean, I guess they're seeing some good stuff from guys like G.G. Jackson or Ty Jerome being back and looking healthy is good. Scottie Pippen Jr. trying to work his way back into form. Cam Spencer needs to get back after it a little bit. And Santi Aldama still dealing with injury. So, yeah, just not a lot of positive things happening for the Grizzlies right now. And they're banged up coming into this one. Ty Jerome, Cedric Coward, Santi Aldama all still on the injury report. Coward officially out with that knee issue. Aldama officially out with a knee issue as well. And Ty Jerome doubtful due to a left thigh contusion. So we'll see what they do in Dallas, taking on the Mavs, who have actually won 2 in a row, beating the Nets and the Pacers. So, I mean, beating tanking teams as a team that should be tanking, I guess, is admirable, I suppose. I mean, in that win at Brooklyn, we liked what we saw from Marvin Bagley. He's actually reviving his career a little bit. Max Christie putting in good work. Chris Middleton getting minutes is just kind of funny to me at this point. But 22 points off the bench from Bagley is good. Klay Thompson going 5 of 10 from 3. You love to see a Klay pop-off night anytime you get one. So we'll see what the Mavs can do in this one. They are playing at home. That helps a bit. They are still banged up. We won't see Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington, or Daniel Gafford in this game, but we're getting used to that. The Mavs are 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 235.5. Memphis, 13-14 against spread on the road, 17-18 against spread after a loss, 16-11 to the under on the road. Dallas, 16-14 against the spread at home, 7-2 against the spread on no rest. Now, they will be coming off a game against the Kings here on the 26th, so we'll see how that one goes. Obviously, it's not a fully updated injury report, but that's basically who we expect to be ready to go there for the Mavs. They are 16-14 to the under at home. Guys, this is a very early reported number, but if the total is really 235.5 in this game, we have to take the under. I was going to say strongly consider. No, we just have to take the under. I would be very, very shocked if we saw the total get this high. I know the Mavs have played some very high-scoring games recently, but playing on no rest, I don't really see them, shooting the lights out or playing a super high-scoring game. That being said, I guess the Grizzlies are doing the same thing, so maybe this isn't a mandatory spot, but I do think we have to consider the under. Last but not least here, guys, we get the Denver Nuggets going on the road to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder in a potential Western Conference Finals preview. The Nuggets, 37-22 on the season. They're coming off a nice 103-84 win there over the Celtics. Denver has dealt with a ton of injuries here this season, just overall has been pretty tough, but they're getting a little bit healthier, although Jamal Murray, we'll talk about that in just a minute, only was able to play 8 minutes there against the Celtics. Jokic went off for 30. He played well. Julian Strawther had 12. He played well. Hardaway played well, had 14. They not destroyed, but 54-48 is a nice little edge there on the boards for the Nuggets. Honestly, it's just kind of Jokic, and not bad stuff there from Valanciunas in spot minutes, but just trying to carry this team across the finish line there in the very, very dangerous West. Now, injury concerns for sure for this team, as always. Obviously, we have no idea when we're going to see Aaron Gordon back. For this one, Jamal Murray dealing with an illness is questionable for this game in Oklahoma City. Julian Strawther is probable. Sounds like he's going to be fine despite that toe sprain. And Spencer Jones is questionable due to a right shoulder strain. So we'll see what they can put together here in Oklahoma City, taking on the Thunder. Sounds like SGA is going to be back. That is a big, big deal here for Oklahoma City. They actually played really, really well without him and J-Dub for a big chunk there. So hats off to them for doing that. They did lose to the Pistons, but made a very real game of it down the stretch. We liked what we've seen, especially just overall the team has shot the ball way better than I'd expected. Kason Wallace playing great. Aaron Wiggins putting in good numbers. Dort still can't shoot it. That's not a huge shock. Jalen Williams, he's put up some pretty good numbers. He's coming off a 30-piece there against the Thunder. Went 5 of 10 from 3. He's been playing really, really well. Jared McCain also has been a massive pickup for this team. So they are 5.5-point favorites in this game, due, I would say, in large part to SGA being back. And they are fully healthy, aside from SGA. No J-Dub, no AJ Mitchell. But this team is starting to get healthier. Like I said, they're 5.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 225.5. Denver, 20-12 against the spread on the road. 19-17 against spread after win, 20-10 to the over on the road. That's actually an NBA best to the over. The Thunder, 15-15 against spread at home, 8-6 against spread after a loss, 16-14 to the under at home. With SGA coming back, guys, we got to double check and see if he's on a severe minutes limit in this one. It doesn't sound like we have a whole lot of clarity on that. So this might have to be a wait and see spot, but I do like the Thunder to find the way to get the winning cover here, especially if Jamal Murray ends up sitting this one out for the Nuggets. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Do me a huge favor and take that 10th of a second, hit that like button. Hopefully it'll give you good luck on all of your bets. I know it'll really help me get these videos promoted out there. So huge shout out to everybody that does that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're almost to 70,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 100K, so let's make that happen. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody for watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com. Check out the free picks under the free picks tab every day. Definitely make sure you're getting in on that free email newsletter. It's a fantastic resource. You don't want to miss out on that. And the premium picks have been rolling right along here recently. So definitely, if you're a serious sports bettor, consider checking out a premium package, especially here heading into March Madness. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.